I'm like, let me just start the live, okay? Let me just start the live. Let's just start the live, okay? Um, hello, hello, hello. Let me go ahead and send this. Okay. So okay. So let's go ahead, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to season 9. Welcome to season 9. Okay, meaning this is the 9th year. Um, season 9. Hello, hey Lori. Hello. Okay, this is gonna be really good tonight. I already know it's gonna be really good tonight. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I felt it when I made the title. I was like, I gotta come through with the come through. Okay. Um, I'm feeling very light. I kind of have a I got like a little. It's definitely a 9 year. It's a 9 year for me as well too. Okay. Hello, hello. Hi there. East Dad. That's cute. Okay. So, is your child named East? I'm interested to know. That's cute. That sounds like some Detroit stuff. Their name ain't child East. Middle name Side. Okay, I'm silly. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because I said I was I said I was not going to be on here long, and every time I say that I always end up being on live for like an hour, but plus. But let's go ahead and get started. Um, Dear Divine, please bless and charge us with the energy to bring a balance to our complete being, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everything that is out that we have confusion about. Divine, please bring it towards us for with clarity, with peace, with love and harmony. I ask that you protect me, the collective, their loved ones, my loved ones, any interferences, any weirdness. Uh, let's just take all their energy. We're not returning it back to sender, right? But let's just take all their energy, alchemize it, and know that we are worthy and deserving of a beautiful life. All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Jama Kali, Jama Durga. Bauta Sri Sai, may peace be with all of us, and Mata Mira, Bauta Mata Mira. Thank you so much. Okay, so salutations are done, right? All right, so year 9. I'm just super excited. Okay, so this is our first episode, Intuitive Talks. This is our first episode, right? All right, our first removal. All right. No, my profile would tell you I'm in New Jersey. I'm a father, obviously. So East Dad. Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, so the title of this video is the subject today is, what does surrendering to divine look like, feel like? What is it? And why is it so damn hard? Okay. And I put that damn in there for a reason. All right. I put the damn in there for a reason because one would think that surrendering to divine looks perfect. That's 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 how I always felt. It's like it looked perfect, right? Um oh, God bless me. Right? Meaning that you can't, thank you, baby. Meaning that you can't curse, you can't be yourself, you can't talk to the divine like Okay, thank you. Thank you, East Dad. I'm at work. I'm gonna hit the bell so I can get notified. All right. Come back. Come back and check us out. Okay. So, you know, uh one would think that like working with divine, there are some things that you have to cut out of your everyday life, right? When you hear people say you need to surrender, thank you, Lori, you need to surrender to divine, you need to stop eating a certain type of way, you need to stop hanging around certain people, you need to stop drinking, you need to stop smoking, you need to stop cursing, using profanity. I'm gonna say using profanity. Also, you need to stop cursing, okay? Cursing people, right? um One would think that you have to be in meditation, you can't work a regular job, you can't do, it's a lot of things that, you know, when people say I surrender to divine, or I surrender to my spiritual path, my spiritual journey, whatever that looks like, they're always saying what they what they cut out, what they cut out in order to surrender, right? Now, this is the funny thing, that when you have completely surrendered, right? When you know that you have surrendered, right? And this isn't something that it just goes off in your head immediately. It's like it comes about. You be like, damn, I just realized I haven't been smoking that much. I haven't been drinking that much. I haven't picked up the phone and called such and such. I'm not, craving certain things. I'm not having sex with that married man no more, or I'm not lusting after certain things, or I'm not indulging in certain activities, right? And then you find yourself things that you wanted to let go. Hello, the things that you wanted to let go, you find them slowly just trickling off. It's not anything that you oh yeah, growth, my shirt. Oh wow, thank you. Just look, just doop. And I didn't do that intentionally, but I did take a shower before I came on. And this is the one that I grabbed out the closet. My husband's folding clothes too, so I was like, let me grab one out the closet and not off the bed. Let me not bother him, right? So it's like little things start to change in your life that maybe along the way you said that you wanted to change, even if you didn't say them out loud to other people. You was like, I'm gonna fast on Thursdays, or I'm gonna fast on Wednesdays, and then you find yourself, I don't want to say hella busy on Thursday and Wednesday, but you find it so that your hunger is fed by something else that is in replace of a meal. Or you find yourself like, okay, well, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to get up early. You know what? Let me not even say eat. So let me say, I want to start getting up early, right? You find yourself waking up before your alarm clock even goes off. And you're like, how am I doing this? Hello, chicken. Long time no see. So, you're like, how am I doing this? Where is this energy coming from? And ultimately, it's because, you made it in your mind that, okay, I'm going to start doing mantras. I'm going to start doing meditations. I'm going to start looking more into the divine. Even just reading the Bible, right? Reading the Bible, reading your holy scriptures, reading about religious texts, or Vedas, or just like stories, things that have went on. We just did the Durga lesson, right? The end of our year 8, okay, our season 8, we did the Durga lesson, right? And the vows that I gave, those are holy passages, should I say? Like they're religious texts. So you find yourself, okay, Well, I'm going to read those. I'm going to follow, and it was 8 episodes. Okay, so I'm going to listen to all 8 episodes. And then all of a sudden, you find yourself doing certain things. Okay, you find yourself having a little bit more patience and forgiveness. You find yourself looking at, looking at other people and seeing the divine mother in them. Okay, and you don't realize this right away, that this is what surrender is. This is what surrender is. And the more that you do it, the more you surrender. Okay? Now, why is this so goddamn hard? We make it hard. Period. We make it hard. Over the years, I've learned a lot of spiritual, I learned a lot of different spiritual paths, right? But I found that the simplest ones are the ones that give me the results that I need and the results that I want, right? The simplest paths. And it has really been, for me, it has really been mantras. And I kind of got this feedback too from people as well too. Like, what mantras should you say? I know quite a few mantras. I don't know all of them, right? I don't know all of them. But like I said, I went to the Occult college. So I've learned a lot of mantras along the way, right? I also listen to a lot of meditations. So I learned a lot of mantras on the way. And mantras, as powerful as they are, they're very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. That, it essentially is the deity. Okay? It's when you're repeating the name of the deity, aka, I'll get to that, Lori. When you're repeating the name of the deity, you are saying, and this might actually answer your question too. You're saying a holy figure name. Just thank you, Jesus, is a mantra. Hare Krishna, that's a mantra. Jama Kali, that's a mantra. Jama Durga, that's a mantra. These are mantras. These are repeating of a holy divine figure name. Okay? By saying this, you are calling on for help. You are calling in your team, your spiritual team, right? And so it's very essential that what I'm getting ready to say is something that I really want to emphasize, and I'm going to emphasize this whole season, is that keep it simple. Keep it simple. If you keep it simple, you're going to get great results. And not only are you going to get great results, you're going to surrender more to the divine than you ever have before. And the divine is going to answer you. Okay? Keeping it simple. When we mispronunciate certain things, right? When you mispronunciate certain things, it becomes something else, right? Now, y'all don't make fun of me, right? Do not make fun of me. But there is a word that I cannot say, and it doesn't bother me anymore. But it's specific. But that's not the word that I'm trying to say. But that's the word that I'm saying. But what am I saying? Y'all don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I know what I'm trying to say. But when I say SPECIFI, whatever, however you spell it, right? I can't even fucking spell it. Sophistic, when I say that, I'm not talking about sophisticated. I'm not talking about Pacific. I'm not talking about that. This is a word that I cannot say. So when I try to pronounce it, it becomes a whole different word. It becomes a word with a P instead of a word with an S, right? And someone may, they may know what I'm intending to say, right? Divine knows what I'm intending to say. However, when you mispronounce certain words, it becomes a different meaning, okay? So I have been, and I haven't been doing this long, but in little time, I have gotten answers by surrendering certain things. Surrender means I'm surrendering, I'm turning in this, I'm letting go of this, right? And I'm essentially giving it over to divine, whether it's anger, whether it's hate, whether it's love, whether it's joy, whether it's rest, whether it's grief, whatever it is, the good and the bad, I'm giving it over to the divine. Okay? And I'm essentially asking for, I'm not really asking for anything, but I'm just giving all of those emotions over to the divine, because I can do something with some of them, but other ones I can do stuff with it too. I can wreck some shit and mess some shit up, right? But I just want to, I just really want for us to, I made gumbo. Okay. I just really want for us to surrender everything and get back what we need. Okay? Like, let go of everything and get back what we need. Right? And you can think that this is receiving very little back, but if you receive very little back when you surrender everything, you're working with the wrong deities. Period. Period. You're working with the wrong deities. Okay? Because in the little time, I didn't even put the date on here. Oh, 6/21. Right here, I wrote 6/21. Okay? But I know I started that letter before 6/21. And I wrote to the Divine Mother about everything happening in my life, that if somebody was to pick this up, they'll be like, you're writing to who about this? I'm writing to God about this, about everything. I never felt so much shed off of me so quickly in my life. And it's just like, I don't want to worry about anything, right? I just want to give it all over to her. I want to give her the love. I want to give her the anger. I want to give her the hate. I want to give her the greed. I want to give her the grief. I gave her my YouTube. I gave her my YouTube. Okay? I gave the Divine Mother my YouTube. And that's what I said. And the minute that I surrendered to that, things that I have been, doing a lot of research on. Like, for example, opening up my community tab, right? I was like, I want people to be able to post. When I started the Monderga lessons. Give me 1 second, guys. When I started the Monderga lessons, I was like, I don't really want to give people my Facebook, right? Like, I don't have a problem with it, but I was having a little bit of bully stuff going on online, and I just didn't want to give out my Facebook, right? Because I was like, I don't want those people to come onto my Facebook. They start doing the most, or whatever the case is, right? And I wrote about that too, right? I wrote about that, and I said I want to draw a community. I want to draw a community of people closer together, where we can do certain things and we feel obligated is the word, obligated to show up in our full capacity for class. Yes, class, because I teach lessons here, right? We feel obligated to show up in our full capacity. We feel good about it. you know, and y'all feel good about the person that's guiding y'all, that's teaching y'all, which is me, right? And I told the Divine Mother that I want a place, a space, the healing garden. That's essentially what this is. It's a healing garden. Yes, it's called Jupiter Occult, right? It's called Jupiter Occult. But over there under the community tab, that's the healing garden. That's the healing garden. You know, you have the garden, then you have the house, which is Jupiter Occult, right? You have the house, and then you have the people inside the house, which is me, which is Lori, which is Amazing Girl, which is Keisha, which is Amanda, which is, you know, T, both T's, okay? Those people, okay, and whomever else, okay? Davina, she come through here. I think it's another lady. Her name is dang, it's like Honey something, okay? But those is people that show up. You get what I'm saying? Like they show up. They might not feel comfortable commenting right here, but you know, after you do homework like this, you like, hold on a second. I want somebody to see that I did this. I want somebody to see that I did this. And this sounds crazy, but I was an RA student when I was in school. And I was like, when I went to school, my favorite school was a private school up under a church. They never gave out report cards on pieces of paper. They put the grades right there in the middle of the hallway for everybody to see. You could see where you was ranked. The first card marking, I was in the 6th grade. I was in the 6th grade because I went there 6th, 7th, and 8th, middle school, right? I was in the 6th grade, and I remember I had a 3 point, I think like maybe like a 3.5, right? I seen somebody with a 4.33. 4.33. That means you had all A pluses. A 4.33. I never got a 3.5 again. Never got a 3.5. I was like, no, I'm getting a 4.0 or above. Never got a 3.5 again. It sounds like I wasn't even competing against them. I just was like, I'm going to be top ranked. I'm going to be known. After that, they like, oh, she got asthma. I do got asthma, but I also got the star athlete. Okay? How does the star athlete have asthma? I got my name posted all in that school. Why? Because the ones that are coming behind me, the ones that are following up behind me, I want to be an example for them. And they had called the ambulance a couple times. Okay, they like, Robbie, you don't have to run so fast. You don't have to do everything. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And this is why, even right now, I have my children. They're like, the grind don't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. You get hurt along the journey. And this applies to spiritual work as well, too. You get hurt along the journey. I tell y'all to write these letters. And the minute that I tell y'all to write these letters, they amp up. They amp up. They attack us. They don't want us to surrender to the divine. I'm like, no matter what, keep going. Keep pushing. I ain't got off of here yet. I ain't got off here yet. Just when they thought that I was going to be gone, I still show back up. I'm still saying the mantras. Okay? We still going to do the mantras. We still going to do all of that. We still going to surrender. The divine, the divine mother does not take away your karma, right? She doesn't take away your karma. We all have karma. I got karma. I cuss people out every other day. Y'all think I don't have karma? Okay? I cuss people out every other day. The thing is, right? I'm still going to surrender that. I'm going to try to change going off on people, right? I'm going to give them love. I'm not going to give them no more anger. I'm really not. I'm really not. This was one of the final tests, I believe, for all of us, because not only did they, attack me, they also attacked of the people that are on my channel. You know, they did a lot of things. And I think this was kind of one of those final tests that was like, now you're ready to surrender. You ready to give it to me? She said, here you go. Right? And what am I going to give you back? So what did she give us back? All right, y'all. So let me introduce you guys, right, to a avatar that you guys are going to hear a lot about this season, right? You guys are going to hear a lot about this season, and going forth, you're going to continue to hear about her. I have just been completely blown away, and I really have to give like all. My sister is a human spirit guide. I kid y'all not. She is a human spirit guide. She's one of my destiny workers, destiny helpers. I'm talking about destiny workers. She's one of my, yeah, she is a destiny worker, okay? She's like, all right, get into shape. But she's like, she just don't know what she does for me. Every journey that I've ever been on, my sister has always, and it's so crazy. She's not the life path number one, right? I'm the life path number one. But she has really like been a really acting force on me. Okay? Like she's been a real active force. So the mother, right? This is Mother Mirror. Actually, that's where my bookmark goes. I'm going to show you guys her photo. Okay. And I'm actually going to put her up behind me. Okay. So, this is Mother Mirror, right? And I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. Well, the only way that I can explain it, I guess, is I have a lot of contact with deities, right? But I've never met a real life avatar like that's still living, okay? Like present, physical, right? And this is something that I have cried at my altar about. This is something that I have cried at my altar about prior to my sister, you know, telling me about this book, because she got this book. And she used to be reading this book to me. And I heard her, but I didn't hear her, right? And then she had told me about a particular chapter in this book. She had said something about it. She was reading it to me. And I was listening, but I wasn't listening. I probably was doing like other things too, but I was listening, right? And I just heard something go off. Like, I heard her get louder, even though she didn't physically get louder, but I heard my sister get louder while she was reading something to me. And I said, play that back, run that back again, say that again. And I was like, send me the book. Send me the book. And I tried to get her to read the book out loud, right? So I wouldn't have to read the book myself. I was like, Mandy, you ever thought about reading this book, like an audio book? She like, I know what my job is. That's not my job. And I was like, let me buy this book. I buy the book. And y'all, I just found my bookmark today. I literally just found my bookmark today. It's like I'm reading the book, and then I close the book. I put this SpongeBob card in there. I close the book, and I forget where I'm at, and I go back to a particular. I'm like, I could read this over and over again. And I've been, y'all know Sagittarius is, they start going down a rabbit hole, right? Now it's something I found this avatar, Mother Mirror. I found her YouTube page. I found another stream of questions, like just questions that I've had, like questions. And when I found the questions, I listened to like maybe 5 minutes of the questions, and I sent it to every last single person in my phone. Every last single person in my phone. Even people that's not spiritual. I was like, these are some of the questions that these people have asked me. And some of her answers are answers that I have heard from the divine, right? Some of the questions is like just questions that I personally had myself. And when I look at her, I hear her talking to me. I hear her talking to me. And the dialogue is just going. It seems like it's not going fast, but it's going very fast, right? I know it's going fast. I listened to. I just said I listened. I been in her silent meditations like for the last week or so, right? And everything that I wrote, everything that I've said to her, and I asked her, now look, y'all, look. Y'all heard me say this before, that a part of my timeline, my play on this earth is installing deities, right? And when I looked at her, I instantly seen Mandurga. I seen Mandurga. It's the same thing when I looked at Sri Sai. I seen Krishna, right? And when I looked at her and I seen her in her eyes, I seen Mandurga. I instantly started crying. Like I just felt it. Like I felt it. And it's so crazy because y'all look, I was talking to her and I just threw it out there, right? And I was like, you know, I'm a daughter of Cali. I'm a daughter of Mandurga. I'm a daughter in general. What? Right? So I was like, why can't I see Cali when I look at you? Right? Why can't I see Cali when I look at you? I promise y'all, the next day she came on to the dasha that she does. She sends divine light to the world, to you, right? To me. She sends light energy, right? And this light, I'll tell y'all about the light in a second, right? And so I had said, how come I can't see Callie when I look at you, right? And I came I came onto the next silent meditation, and her hair was all it was wild. And for a split second, I looked into her eyes, and she looked at me too, and I seen Callie. And it's almost as if she said, I am Callie too. Now, y'all, I was setting up my altar, right? I was setting up my altar because I did an altar. Okay, I did an altar. That's me. That's what I do. I do altars, right? For the Divine Mother. And I felt like Mother Mirror needed a place on my altar. I felt that. I felt it. I felt it. I felt it. And I'm not going against it, right? And I don't have an altar for every deity that I've had contact with, right? But I felt she needed an altar. And so when I was sitting up her altar, okay, I put Durga there, right? And I put Mother Mirror there. And then I put Sri Sai there, and I have a Krishna statue that's coming, right? And so my husband was cleaning. My husband was sweeping, and I had just swept behind the couch, right? I had just swept behind the couch, and then he was sweeping up. I was cleaning the altars and everything up, right? And I kid y'all not, my Cali statue jumped to the other altar. It jumped towards the other altar. And he was like, dang, baby. He was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how I did that. What is that? And I was like, oh, she's just telling me that she needs to be on that altar too. Like, I'm tripping. Put Cali over there too. This is, and I have a big Cali picture. I have a big Kali and Shiva picture that's behind the altar, but the statue is something different. Okay, the statue is something different. You shouldn't get statues of um you shouldn't get statues of deities until you're ready to put that energy really in there. Get a picture, get a yantra. Okay, statues are different. Statues are different. Um Statue is all of it is having the deity in your house, in your abode, right? It is having the deity there, but a statue is different. These statues move. You'll be looking at the statue, you'll be doing something over here, and the eyes on the statue will turn and look at you. It's different. It's different. I don't want to explain that right now, but definitely different. And so I was sitting in front of the Divine Mother, right? And it's a few things that she has, like, it's like dialogue. Okay? What's understood don't, girl, what's understood don't gotta be said. Exactly. And so I told you guys that part of my job is installing deities onto this earth, right? And I've been saying this since I've been pulling these cards, okay? Since I've been using the dowser rods, I always know that installing deities, right? I come across a lot of deities. And then I have my own devotion, okay? This is me. Year 9 is season 9 is me pulling you guys into my devotion, and y'all pulling me into y'all devotion as well too. All right, so we're gonna pull the Divine Mother into, strictly the Divine Mother, into our devotion. Okay, I won't be talking about any other deities this season. I'm only talking about the Divine Mother. That's it. That's it. Okay. We are gonna do cards. We're gonna do dowser rods. We're gonna do all of that. All right. I got confirmation on that. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna teach y'all all of that stuff. I'm gonna teach y'all how to have a dialogue with the Divine Mother using the cards, using the dowser rods, using a pendulum. You know, just different divination tools, because she ain't against none of that. None of that. She ain't against none of that. We're not going to use her name in vain either. We're not going to lie on her. We're not going to, we're not going to put any type of punishment attached to her either. Okay? When I tell y'all that, y'all might be in spiritual hell or spiritual jail or whatnot, I'm telling y'all that y'all need spiritual help. Okay? And y'all still need to call on the Divine Mother. What she does is she does this thing called Dashin, right? And it's when she sends God's light to untangle a lot of knots that's that's in the front of us and that's in the back of us, that keeps us out of alignment spiritually, right? I almost feel like I look like I want to cry. I'm looking at myself and I know that I really am getting emotional with this because of, one, I have her sitting back there and I'm literally looking at her, like, at her eyes too. Okay? I do have her sitting behind me and I can look into the camera and I see her eyes. Okay? And she sends this light into you that untangles these, and it can happen like that. It can happen like that. Like, that's a part of the surrender. Like, it can happen like that, like a split second. Things that have had you stuck on your spiritual journey for years. Years. All of a sudden becomes clear. And You know, and sometimes it doesn't happen like that. The more that you don't want to surrender, the more that you don't want to give up certain things like anger, like lust, like trust, okay? Untrustworthiness, or whatever the case is, all of that stuff. Like when you don't want to give that stuff up and you're constantly thinking of other things, this is why I'm going to work with you guys on meditation. Um, when you're constantly thinking of other things except just being still, right? That keeps us stuck. It keeps us stuck. Now, everything looks spiritual because it is. To me, it is. But a lot of confusion over the years, and this avatar is located in Germany, just the FYI, y'all. Okay, this divine mother, this divine being, y'all hear me say avatar, but she's a divine avatar. Okay, she's located in Germany, but she travels. Okay, and I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I am praying, and I hope that y'all join in with the prayer along the way as we learn more about Mother Mirror. I hope that y'all, you know, call her to the United States. Okay? I have a good feeling about this. I have a good feeling about this. I have a great feeling about this. And I think that we can get her to the United States so that we can go, and she does dashing for the whole family. She does it for the kids. She does it for, she say the kids can get it too, but she has meditation. She touches every last single person. Every last single person. It doesn't matter if it's 7 people or 200 people. She's going to touch every last single person. She's going to give you what you need. Okay? And continue to give you what you need. And if we don't ever see her in person, this is the crazy part. She is located in Germany. And I'm already, I promise y'all, I'm already a testimony. I'm already a testimony. My community tab. Y'all, I can't even make this up. I ain't about to read my whole thing to y'all, but I don't even want y'all to read my whole thing. Hold on, let me see. I don't know. There's so much in here. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is how I'm talking to her. I know that there will be haters on the path, but so many times I want to work with others to do good and great work to help people, but it falls through. People don't be genuine, or maybe I don't like everyone. That's how I'm talking to her. Okay? Hi, Amazing Grace. Hey. I said, but my love for them be real. Mother, I wish that I could love everyone like you do. This is how I'm talking to her. Okay? And this is genuine. And I said, but then someone mentions my allergies, my big nose, my family, my loss, my gains. My mind gets filled with judgment. It's so many things I wish that I could clear up about myself to each and every person. Why do I have these feelings? I don't want to clear up anything, really. These are things that I'm saying to her. I want to have personal conversations with each person that has ever felt some type of way about me. And it's okay. It's okay. That's why I guess that spirit has put them online as opposed to in my real life, because these are not people that I really need to have conversations. This is my YouTube life. That is exactly what I wrote to her. I said, this is my YouTube life. Now my other life I see and want, but not sure if it is possible. Maybe I forgot the dream along the way. I love to cook. Someday I'm not going to say what I want. Someday I want something. Here, I wrote it there, right? Or a restaurant. And once I dreamed of me where I would feed the homeless people for free too, from a food truck, but we would still serve food out of a certain window, out of one particular window. I wish I could open a gym to where my sons could play basketball and train. And right when I wrote that, I said, Divine Mother, do you even know anything about basketball? I literally said that to her, okay? Because does this little lady look like she know about basketball? But when I was at my altar, and I wrote this in a letter. When I was at my altar, it clicked to me again. She answered my question while we were having a dialogue, and she said, I know everything about basketball. And there were other things that happened. But anyway, yeah, so these are just things that I wrote to her. And as I was sitting, I'm not thinking about this stuff that I'm writing, but she is literally talking to me in dialogue at her photo. Okay, I'm looking at this. This is the photo that I printed out right here. This photo right here. This is the photo that I printed out and I put it on to my altar. I did not intentionally choose this photo. It's the only one that printed out perfectly. All of the other ones, they didn't print out, they looked at, I couldn't really see her eyes, right? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna change those. I'm gonna make those into bookmarks so that I'm not like necessarily wasting the paper. I'm just gonna laminate it and make it into a bookmark, right? But this particular one, is funny that I chose this one because red represents power, gold is royalty, and so is purple. Okay? And when I look at this photo of her, it's almost as if her eyes are perfect. Her smile or her expression, which isn't a smile, but it is a smile, this is exactly how I see her in meditation. Okay? Even when she's not smiling and I'm like, why aren't you smiling or whatnot, I see her perfectly like this. This looks like a smile. Okay? This sounds like a prayer I've had of my own about helping people in the world. And that's exactly, it wasn't a prayer. This is just how I write. But this is going to be our first homework assignment. This is going to be our first homework assignment. Okay? So I want you guys to this is lesson 1. This is lesson 1 of the Great Season 9, right? Lesson 1. And this is about the Divine Mother. This is actually like a preview lesson, right? Because I'm going to do a lesson strictly for her, for the Divine Mother. Okay, I'm going to do a lesson strictly for the Divine Mother, but this is like to get ready, get started, right? So I am introducing her exactly as I see her, which I think is, a lot of people see her as a divine avatar, as Durga. And, if you see her in a different way, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. If you see Kali, it's not wrong. If you see Lakshmi, it's not wrong. If you see Shakti, it's not wrong. Okay? Yeah. So, lesson 1, Divine Mother preview. Absolutely. Okay. So, I'm going to give you guys a mantra. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the mantra. Let me get my iPad so that I can put it in the... Look at this. I'm telling you. It's just right there. Look, just right there. So she goes live twice a day. It's a silent meditation. And I shared it in my community tab. I'm going to share her page again. You can go back and watch any of her lives and you will receive something. I'm telling you, okay? Now, if it has been hard for you to surrender certain things to divine, I think that having a physical avatar, and I prayed about this, so I know that this will help you guys too. Having a physical avatar. It's not that, you know, any aspect of the divine mother doesn't show up for me, but I'm a physical being having a spiritual experience, and it just would be good, you know, it would be good to have our own little Jesus this 2025, right? When they say that, you know, Jesus is returning back onto earth or whatnot, one of the questions that she's asked is, will you return? And she says she'll always be with her children, but she doesn't know if she'll return. It's up to, ultimately, it's up to God. Okay, it's up to the higher powers. Okay, on whether or not she asked to come down here. She asked, this avatar asked to come down here, and she has literally been divine since she was a child. Okay, since she was a child, she knew who she was when she was young. Okay, and ultimately other sages and other spiritual and holy people have said that this woman is divine. She knows multiple languages, doesn't read and write, but it takes her like that. She can do everything. Okay, y'all have to read her book. Y'all have to read her book. All right, y'all have to read her book. This ain't even a book that she wrote. Adi Lakshmi wrote this book. It's called Mother. There we go. Okay, get it on Amazon for $7.77. All right. All right, so that is her YouTube. That's her YouTube. All right. And I'm not going to share her website because you can go on her YouTube. Y'all got to do your own work too a little bit. Okay. Y'all got to do your own research. The more you research, the more the divine puts it in front of you. Okay. Because I literally, my sister sent me the book. Well, she led me to the book, right? I ordered it. And then I looked on the back of the book and I'm like, there's an address here and a telephone number. Who's calling Germany? Me? Who's writing to Germany? Me? Who's going to Germany? Me? Like, y'all got me messed up. If I don't get there physically, I'm getting there spiritually and mentally. All right? So that's how we're gonna do it. We're going to the Divine Mother. Okay, we're going to the Divine Mother. So I'm gonna give you guys a mantra. Okay. I'm gonna do the mantra with you guys 108 times. I think that I'm going to end the live and then do the mantra. Am I gonna end the live and do the mantra? Nah. I'm not gonna end the live and do the mantra. Nah, yes I am. I'm gonna end the live and do the mantra. Because I'm actually gonna do the mantra at my altar and I don't want to walk through my house. I don't want to walk through my house. So I'm gonna end the live and do the, no, am I? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Maybe I'll just put it at the end of this. Okay, so the mantra. Okay, so this is the homework. Let me get a homework. All right. So the mantra is Doom Durgaye Mata Mira. All right. So Doom Durgaye Mata Mira. And essentially we're saying that we bow, we give homage to Durga, Mother Mirror. Okay? Mata, Mata is mother. Okay? And we are saying that we bow to the divine goddess, Durga, that is existing in Mother Mirror. Okay, we give reverence to her, and it's really like installing a divine being onto this world. So this mantra, what is the objective of this mantra, right? Clear. That's what the objective is. Clear. Clear communication, clear love, clear obedience, clear tolerance, clear lifestyle, clear bank account, clear spirituality, clear relationships. Like, it's just clear. I don't know what other way that I can describe what it is and how it is. You're going to hear this mantra in your head. You're going to hear it in your head. When you hear it in your head, just say it out loud. If you do not have malas, if you don't have mala beads, by now you need some. Y'all hit me up 346-702-4044 if you don't have mala beads, okay? But interesting. It's not perfect. If you don't have mala beads, get you some mala beads. You need 108 mala beads, okay? She actually sells these on her website too. I didn't buy them off her website, but she sells Radasha beads on her website. I'm like, this is all in alignment, okay? The malas that she have. And she has a 5 face and a 9 face, okay? 9 faces for Durga. And you want to be picked up. So, all right. So we are going to do the mantra. You know, try to do it. Try to do the mantra once a day. Like, just start with it once a day. Okay? Start with it once a day. So this is what our homework is, right? This is not the book I want to write it in. Got a new notebook. Do not blame me. Love made me crazy. right. So today is 6/27. I always try to put the date on the first, at least the first page, okay? To start our day. Is it best to do it in the morning? Since it does not matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I tell you, if I tell you to do it in the morning time, right? Let me tell you how this surrender, this time is gonna look like, right? If I tell you to do it in the morning, you end up sleeping in, and you are going to be like, oh, I just missed it today. Okay, it's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a day that you're super tired, and you're going to miss the morning time. You're not gonna wake up until after 12 o'clock. Okay, so do not put emphasis on what time you do it. Don't put emphasis on what time you do it. Just know that you need to do it once a day. Just know that you need to do it once a day. Once you start it, you're going to hear this mantra in your head that you just know you need to say it. You need to say it every day. If you can't push through the 108 times, you just need to say it. Okay? Say it 9 times. Say 108 breaks down to 9. 108, that's 9. Say it 9 times. Say it 54 times. Whatever number, say it 36 times. It doesn't matter. Just say it. Just say it. That's kind of like, that's the feedback that I received. All right? If you create an altar, for Mother Mirror, and you sit in front of her picture, or you add her to your already deity altar that you have for Mandurga, right? And you sit in front of her picture, she's going to tell you what you can do. She's going to tell you how surrender looks like for you individually. It might not be something that is for everybody. It might not be that, okay? She's going to tell you what your everyday life looks like. And this is something that came up with Mandurga too. Like, Mandurga understands that you cannot come sit at the altar every day at 12 o'clock noon. I'm at work. But you know what was crazy? I kept hearing today, finish your work early so you will have 30 minutes to pray. Finish your work early so you have 30 minutes to pray. So I'm at work, I'm cooking. And I was like, I'm not gonna get done in time to watch her meditation, right? Which one of her meditation comes on like noon my time, right? Central Standard Time, noon. And I was like, I'm not gonna get it done by noon. Okay, I just made it to work barely at 10. So I know I'm not gonna be done cooking. Okay, gumbo, chicken, tilapia, orzo, mashed potatoes, gravy. I'm not gonna be done cooking Brussels sprouts. I'm not gonna be done cooking all that by noon, right? So I'm like, how am I gonna get done by noon, right? But I got done at 3:30. The first set of people that we serve is at 4 o'clock. And I got done at 3, it was 3:20 something. And the other lady that I'm working with, she's like, you good, stay back there. I'ma serve the people at 4 o'clock. She was like, you good, because we cook everything, and then it's 2 servers. 2 cooks, 2 servers, right? And so we serve and we cook. So she like, no, you good, like straighten up the back. Now I had already straightened up the back. So I'm like, I was cleaning up as I was cooking, I was cleaning up. So I'm like, oh, I got 30 minutes. I was like, I'm about to take my break. I was like, I'm a clock out and take my break too. So I'm taking my break, I'm sitting down, and I'm saying the mantra in my head at 3:30, by 3:30. 4 o'clock, I was done. 4 o'clock, I was done. Do you see? And I kept hearing, like, finish your work early. And usually I get into work, I'll be late, but I don't cook food right away. Like, I never cook the food right away. I sit, I chit chat, because I'm like, I don't like my food sitting, not being hot. So I'm like, I chit chat, do all that. Today, I barbecued on the grill. I made the chicken on the grill first. I made my sauce, scratch, and I still was done 30 minutes early. And that was something that when I was asking, how do I incorporate prayer into my day to day? And this is another thing that's in alignment too, right? I told y'all the last week has been it's been very enlightening for me. And the last week that it has this whole year. This whole year. And my husband has said something. My husband has said something and he was like, how can you meditate? He was like, how can you find time to meditate? And I was like, I don't know, I just do. I was like, but I really want to meditate more. I was like, I really, really want to meditate more. And he was like, why? Like, you already meditate a lot. I'm like, I want to be praying more. I want to be talking to divine more. Like, I want to be talking to spirit more. Like, I just want to, like, that's my BFF. That's my friend. They never, they never turn their back on me. They never forsake me. They never talk about me. Like, them is the people that I really want to be talking to. And he was like, well, how can you incorporate that into your life? And he too, all week, he had been telling me, like, well, when I wake up in the morning, he get up way earlier than I do, right? Especially since they closed the gym that's close to us and he got to go to the other side of town. He wake up way before I do, right? And he was like, when I wake up in the morning, maybe wake up a little bit after I wake up. He was like, and then just pray. Pray where you at. And I was like, pray? I can't pray in the bed. I got to get up. He was like, no, you really don't. You really don't. He was like, because you already get up and pray other times. Just pray. He was like, just pray in the bed. I was like, I'm going to think about that. But then I find myself up before my alarm goes off, right? My first alarm goes off at like 5 something, right? 6 something now that the kids is out of school. But my son used to have basketball practice at 6:30. So he mentioned that too. He was like, you used to getting up, making 999 breakfast sandwiches for these kids. Sire got to be to practice at 6:30. So you waking up at 5:30. He was like, you can wake up at 6 now. He was like, you can wake up at 6 and still have your whole day. That's 4 hours before I got to be to work. I was like, all right. So it's just like, spirit puts people around you to answer the questions that you have. That the questions that you have, ultimately, spirit is putting certain people around you and they're answering them questions. Because I know my man ain't, I know he ain't sat there and read my long letter to the Divine Mother. I know that when I'm having dialogue with my spirit team, he's not present. I mean, he's not in the conversation too. It's not a conversation like this, but it's not like that. And I talk to him telepathically. I talk to him telepathically all the time. And he just like answer questions. I don't know. But anywho. All right. So our homework. Hello, Davina. Okay. She said, I let a lot of things go that I no longer needed to carry. Amen. Okay. Okay. So homework. All right. Lesson 1. Divine Mother. And thank you, Lori, for the title. Divine Mother Preview. Get ready. Look, get ready. All right. So, the mantra is Doom, Durgaye, Mata Mira. Okay, so it is 108 times, which is a job. Okay, all right, 108 times. So, all right, um, this is a mala bag, right? It's a mala bag. It has an opening right here. It has an opening right here, and you put your malas inside of it, right? And nobody's perfect. Okay? Um and you are essentially holding your malas with your thumb and your middle finger, right? If you guys ever see me do any type of spiritual work, you will notice that I really don't use my pointer finger. Even when I'm dressing my candles or anything like that, I don't really use my pointer finger for a lot of things. We'll address that later on. And that's in all spiritual work. I think that I do. I think when I'm like this, okay. Something I learned along the way that has a lot to do with your powerful fingers, okay. But you are using your thumb and you're using your middle finger and you are counting, okay. Now there's a deity bead on here. It's usually a bigger one. Is this one right here, right? That bead is not counted. Okay, that's not counted. The 108 is all of these other ones, okay, that are around that one bead, right? Um, and then how this is looked at is that this is actually the lotus. Okay, this is the lotus. All right. Um, here's another mala that I have. All right. So this one is not counted right here. And this one just kind of reminds me of the lotus, okay? Instead of having the tassel, it has an actual lotus right here, okay? So that one is not counted when you are doing your mantras, okay? 108 times. And you start at the first bead. Try not to touch that bead, okay? Try not to touch the deity bead, right? And this is the sound, right? That one is so pretty. It is. It is. I love this one. I don't know why. When I see it, I'd be like, it looks like it glows in the dark, but it doesn't. But I don't like doing mantras with this bead because when I get to these ones, it's so silly of me. But when I get to these particular ones, I pause because I can feel that they feel different, and it's distracting. It's distracting. I'm just distracted, so I don't use that one. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So let's go through the pronunciation. So it's Doom Durgaye Matsamira. Okay. Doom Durgaye Matsamira. 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 Okay? And you'll find your flow, right? You can say it slower, you can say it faster, Dun Durgaye Matsamira. Dun Durgaye Matsamira. Dun Durgaye Matsamira. Dun Durgaye Matsamira. Okay? Find your flow. Find your flow. Find your flow. My nose is always stopped up, so I always sing like I'm a soprano, okay? On cooked noodles. I love it. I love it. But anywho, so find your flow, okay? And you want to go through it 108 times. Do you usually close your eyes when you're doing it? You know what's crazy, right? I love you. These are questions that I had yesterday when I was at my altar. I asked the Divine Mother, should I close my eyes? She said, that's fine. Should I have my eyes open? That's okay too. It was at one point in the at one point doing the mantra. Now, okay, so what I do is I pray a little bit. I talk to the Divine Mother before I Jama Kali, Jama Durga, Jama Matamir, right? I actually greet everybody that's on my altar. Whatever altar I'm sitting in front of, I greet everybody that's there, right? Um, and then I talk like how I would to you, Lori. I talk to the Divine Mother like that, like how I would talk to my own mom, because that's how I talk to her. I talk to my mama like she my homegirl, right? And so I talk and I ask questions. I don't just ask questions. I say things. I give over the things that are, bothering me, whether it's something with my kids, whether it is something with my job, whether it's like questions that I have, or whatever it is. I give all that over to the divine being that I'm in conversation with, right? And yesterday, I tried to do it with my eyes closed, and I just kept opening my eyes and making eye contact with her, right? And so, in order to keep my mind from doing what my mind does, aka this little Sagittarius, Gemini mind, right? In order to keep my mind from doing what it does, I just focused in on the deity's eyes, and I got lost in translation. My eyes might have been open, they might have been closed. I don't know. Um, Sometimes my eyes are closed, especially if I know that especially if I start crying, my eyes get closed, and I cry at my altar a lot. All my altars, I cry at them. I mean, I'm surrounded by the divine light, and sometimes I'm being hard headed, and I just be needing to cry. So it's whatever best fits you. If you want to do it with your eyes closed, if you want to look into, the divine mother eyes, look into her eyes. If you want to do it with your eyes closed, I gave you guys a visualization exercise where you can close your eyes and see the divine mother in your space. Like I said, I'm going to Germany. So I looked up how her castle looks, I'm talking about her castle, how her home looks. I looked up the gardens, I'm reading the books, and I'm imagining these things. And sometimes I got to close my eyes to astral travel. I close my eyes to astral travel. So, yeah. So, all right. So we are going to, the homework is, the Divine Mother's, yeah, but I can concentrate on her. Good job. We're going to do her mantra 108 times every day. Or just do it. Don't put a number on it. If you Can't do it 108 times, just do it. Okay? Just do it. But don't put a number on it. Just do it. Just remember her. Just even if you can't do the Doom Durgaye Matamir, right? Just Matamir is fine. Okay? Just Mother Mirror is fine. Mother Mirror. Okay? Or Matamir. I know y'all this is something that, you know, that keeps me in alignment with the right divine team, the right spiritual team, and keep me from having spiritual psychosis, right? And from working with dark energy is I'm always saying thank you, divine. I'm always saying thank you, divine. When I'm saying thank you, divine, I'm talking to the divine mother. Like, I'm always saying that. I'm always saying thank you. Thank you so much, divine. Thank you so much, divine. Thank you so much, divine. Like, that chases away dark energy. That chases away dark spirits that want to, you know, attach to your energy. The minute that I see them zap something up out of my way, I'll be like, thank you, divine. Thank you so much, divine. I'm always saying that. I'm always saying that. I be at work. I be saying that. They be like, what happened? Y'all ain't even see it. Y'all didn't even see me flood the whole. Y'all, I flooded the whole counter today. I flooded the whole counter. It ended up flooding the whole back room. I mean, the whole little back part in front of the stove and all that stuff. I looked at that. I was like, that's crazy. Thank you so much, divine. You want to know why? Because it stopped me. It instantly stopped me from doing something that, y'all, when that happened, my phone was right there, and I was getting ready. What ended up happening, I was on my phone and I was getting ready to do something, right? I was getting ready to do something I probably ain't have no business doing, right? Y'all would never know. I was getting ready to do something, and I have this pot of water that I'm running water into under the faucet, right? But I have it sitting on top of the counter. And it just started spilling over. I know I ain't have it up there for 5 minutes. I didn't have it up there for 5 minutes. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I said, I flood this counter every day. And so I end up cleaning up everything. And that's why everything already ended up being clean when it was time. When she was like, oh, can you clean up the back? She was like, I'm a serve. Can you clean up the back? Everything was already clean because I had just flooded that bitch. Oh, thank you so much, divine. Everything is in alignment. Everything is in divine alignment. Okay, so we're gonna do the mantras 108 times. Now, anytime that I am wanting to build rapport with a deity, essentially, right? What I do is I write a letter. I write a letter, y'all. If I don't write a letter, I get in like school training, right? I am just so grateful for Lord Krishna. Like, I am just so grateful for him, right? Y'all don't even understand. Okay, this was the beginning. This was January 13, 2025. Like I said, my life it's wonderful. My life is wonderful. So, day one, January the 6th, 2025, right? I wrote Lord Krishna, Sri Radha Krishna. I did it every day. Every day. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. I wrote it 8 times a day. Okay? 8 times a day. Right? I'll come back to this piece of paper, write it 8 times. Another time, I'll write it 8 times, 8 times, 8 times a day. And I did that so that I can remember Divine's name. Okay? 8 times a day. right? I'm gonna do that to y'all. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. That might be a lot, right? I don't know what I had going on in the daytime that I had to stop and pause. And I did this for 8 days. I did this for 8 days. Actually, me and my husband both did this, right? And it was a full moon in Cancer. Look at that, full moon in Cancer. I think that's where we at right now too. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So, it was a full moon in Cancer on the last day that I did this. And look, we starting something else on the full moon on Cancer. So, how? I don't know. Was that a full moon in Cancer? I don't know. I ain't about to try to figure out the moon cycle right now. It's irrelevant. But anyway, so, oh, new moon in Cancer. I said full moon. It was a new moon in Cancer. So I'm like, oh, houseway. I gotta go look. I gotta look. I gotta look. Let me see. No, I said full moon in Cancer. Very interesting. Okay. So, the homework. I keep saying that part and not giving the second part of the homework, right? So we are going to write Mother Mirror, right? A letter. We're going to write Mother Mirror a letter. Now, it doesn't have to be, you know, all detail. You don't have to tell her everything right now. Just let it be from the heart. Like something that you want to say to divine. Like if y'all are meeting a divine avatar, if you was to meet her in real life, or I'm talking about in real life, this is real life, right? But if you was to see her in person, what would you say to her, right? She doesn't do a lot of talking either, so it's not even much that you can say to her, right? But what would be the conversation that you have with her in your head? Like, what is something that you want to get out and say right now? Like, what's something that you need? What is something that she can help you with at this moment, right? So let's write a letter to her, right? Let's not put a timeline on it. Let's not say, can you make me win a lottery in a week or such and such like that? Like we're not talking like that, right? We're not talking like that, because what are you gonna do with the money? Like, does it have to come from the lottery? You know, like, is somebody bothering you at work and your job and your everyday life? Or like, do you need help with something like that? Do you need help with bullies? Do you need help with being focused, being more spiritually in line? Is there something that you want to give up in your life that is just like really kind of like holding you back? You know, like, what is it that you want to surrender to the Divine Mother? Now, the title of this video is, why is it so damn hard to surrender, right? I'm giving y'all the easiest steps right now. The easiest steps. And I'm telling you, just trust. Just trust. Just trust. Trust me. If you don't trust me, trust the Divine Mother. Okay? Trust the Divine Mother. I that's why it's so hard, because y'all have avatars that y'all have worked with, y'all have deities that y'all have worked with, that y'all didn't get an answer, and y'all still was, you know, wondering, lost. You didn't feel quite seen, heard. It's been many a nights that I have prayed, that I have prayed for answers, right? And I wrote that letter to the Divine Mother, and I'm not even finished. Y'all, I'm not even finished. I'm not even finished. I'm not even finished. The last thing I said was, Mother, send your light to Crystal and give her strength and love. That's the last sentence that I wrote. And I don't even know Crystal like that. This is not, and I'm saying her name because she's not on my page, right? But this person is somebody that I came across their call for help. I came across their call for help, and I wrote to the Divine Mother and said, Mother, send your divine light to Crystal and give her strength and love. Okay, this is somebody that just recently lost their grandmother, and the same time that she lost her grandmother, her son graduated from high school, and it's a happy moment, but it's still a sad moment and stuff like that. And she is just like, I just got to keep going. I just got to keep pushing. And when I seen her video, I seen the grief. I seen the hurt. I know that pain. I know that grief. She didn't just lose her grandmother. She lost the mother that raised her, that had always been there for her. Now, I know her, but I don't know her like that. And just knowing her in the time that I've known her. Okay, let's go back to high school. Knowing the time that I know her, I know she was raised by her grandmother. So I know what that feels like to lose a mother figure. I never heard her talk about her mom or anybody like that. I only ever heard her talk about her grandmother. I only seen videos and pictures of her grandmother. So for me to see right then and there that, okay, she lost somebody that's very close to her, that, like, I'm gaining a mother, she losing a mother. And I went to my mother and was like, please send her some divine light. I be talking their heads off anyway. When is this one due? All right, so there's no due date. There's no due date. There's no due date, but it is the due date. It's due before the next lesson. I don't know when the next lesson is, but it's due before the next lesson. So when I say this is going to be lesson number 1, have your letter ready. Okay, have your letter ready. There is something that I am going to ask you guys to do. This is a preview. This will be homework on the next lesson, but it's not homework right now. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I want y'all to take some time and write Mother Mirror. Okay? I want y'all to actually write a letter to her, but I want y'all to be able to be comfortable with saying, the Divine Mother, thank you, Divine, thank you, Mother Mirror, thank you, Mandurga. I want y'all to be comfortable with saying that. So what I want y'all to do is 108 times, right? 108 times. So sit there and number your paper 108 times, 1 through 108. And I either want you to write my iPad died. Of course it did. My iPad died, but I either want you to write Jama, okay? Lori, can you put this in the Can you put this in the chat? Okay, so I either want you to write Jama Durga, and Ja is spelled J-A-I. Okay, J-A-I. And then Ma, M-A, or M-A-A. Durga, D-U-R-G-A. So that's just saying, Jama Durga. Or you could write Jama Mother Mirror. Okay? Jama Mother Mirror. Well, Jama Mirror. Because Ma and Mother is the same. Okay. So Jai, Ma, M-A, Mirror. Meera. So we're going to write that 108 times. That's going to be the homework that we post. Okay? That's going to be the homework that we post. 108 times. We're going to post that under the community tab. I'm going to post mine. Y'all see me posting mine? Y'all need to be posting yours too. Okay? If y'all have any questions, y'all have anything that y'all want to say to the Divine Mother, I asked the Divine Mother to use my channel as a vessel so that we can continue to share and spread the Divine Mother's agenda, which is to heal not only ourselves but our family and the spiritual, and we're doing this for the spiritual benefit of all. Okay, so that is it. I am going to I'm going to end the live, and I'm going to do the mantras. I'm going to do just the mantra 108 times. Now, from here on out, that mantra, it might be the only time that I do it live, right? It might be the only time that I do it live. I believe it will be the only time that I do this particular mantra live, because my ears are ringing now. I really want to, I don't want to say it might be the only time I do the mantra live, but I really want to, surrender, okay? It's different. I feel different. I feel so different. I feel lighter, brighter, and extra light skin, okay? Extra light skin, like Goofy like. And it's just, that's just where we at. So this might be the only time I do it live. I don't know. My ears just started ringing when I said that, and Spirit is kind of telling me never say never, right? But I just want y'all to have something to follow along, right? Thank you for putting us on. Oh, you are welcome, and y'all all are welcome, okay? Y'all all are welcome. Thank you to the Divine Mother for putting us on, okay? Fruits and vegetables. If you want to make an offering, fruits and vegetables, red flowers. And it's so crazy that I'm teaching this and I'm introducing this and starting this during Durga's Navarachi time, which is a time to celebrate Man Durga. It's 9 days of Man Durga. Okay? And so I posted in my community tab about that as well. If you cannot offer anything to the Divine Mother, simply offer your thoughts, your idea, your love, your essence, your dedication, your time, okay? And just think of her all day. Think of her all day. Even when you get angry, you be like, you know what, Divine Mother, you got it. You can have it. You can have it. Even when you get sad, you know what, Divine Mother, you can have all of these tears, all of this love. And y'all might, the Divine Mother is not new, but this particular avatar is new for me, and it's all about surrendering and trusting. And I want y'all to surrender and trust as well too. If you don't like something, if you don't like something that you hear, accept it, or give it back. Or give it back. All right. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you to my wonderful moderator. Okay. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful night, and I will catch y'all in the Astros. And I don't know. I love you guys. All right. Talk to y'all later, and I'll be back live in a second. All right. Good night. Good night to you all.